Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another Manchester United match reaction. I'm just going to move a little bit closer to my camera here because I didn't adjust the camera properly before I went live. But 5-1 versus Leeds, guys. 5-1 versus. It's just get your comments in the live chat because we are going to be reading a lot of your live chats in today's show. I am absolutely buzzing. And obviously in today's video I'm going to talk about 5 things we learned from the game. I'm going to do player ratings and I'm going to read out a lot of your live chats, so get involved in the live chat. Let me know how you're feeling, because right now we're in a situation with Manchester United where I can't choose my man of the match. Do you know why I can't choose my man of the match? Because we had 2 world-class performances, a hat-trick and a quadruple of assists. I can't choose my man of the match. I cannot choose my man of the match. That's how hard it is. So tell me your man of the match, because you know what? Greenwood was amazing as well. I thought, Greenwood was amazing as well, but he's not even in the question for man of the match. In any other game, Greenwood would get a man of the match for a performance like that. But we had 2 superstars that showed up, and they were, you know who they are. They were Pogba and they were Bruno Fernandes. And I have to say, when I think about the game, I thought, I wasn't a fan of the lineup. Then as soon as I went 1-0 up, I was like, this is our time. As soon as I went 1-0 up, I was like, this is our time, because when you go 1-0 up against Leeds, they have to leave space. They have to leave space in behind. You've got to attack them. Bada bish, bada boosh, bada bong. So when I went 1-0 up, I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. But then it was 1-0, and I was like, really, ailing. And then 2-1, I was like, boom. And then once it was 2-1, I was like, the game is in our hands. You've got the lead. As soon as it went 3-1, bash, bing, bosh. And I just have to say, Mason Greenwood, fantastic. Paul Pogba, fantastic. Bruno Fernandes, fantastic. Those are the 3 players that, were absolutely amazing. Elites are our bitch, says Mark Lewis. And Robert says, this United side have to be ruthless in front of goal when we play at home and away this season. Top class performance by Man United, good to watch. And we were ruthless in front of goal. We absolutely were ruthless in front of goal. And the style of play day in, day out, the league is ours. You know what? That style of play, especially in the second half FC back at it, was absolutely brilliant. I mean, this duo, Bruno and Pogba, name a better duo in football right now. I tweeted it. Bruno and Pogba, dare you to name me a better midfield duo in football right now? Because you know what? I can't. Let me know your man of the match. Is it Bruno? Is it Pogba? But what's the first thing we learned from the game? Because this is my 5 things we learned at match reaction. So smash that like button, subscribe down below, share this video. I hope you're in a mood. But what did we learn? We learned that Paul Pogba was world class. Paul Pogba was absolutely fantastic today for Manchester United. He was absolutely fantastic. 4 assists. 4 assists. He got 3 assists the whole of last season in the Premier League. He's come out 4 assists. Opening game of the Premier League. Leeds are not a bad side. They're not a bad side. They're a mid-table club. They're the same as Arsenal. They finished on the same amount of points as Arsenal. They're like Arsenal level, mid-table club, and you batter them 5-1. And Paul Pogba with 4 assists. Now Kane got 4 assists last season. I think Kane was the first player to ever get 4 assists in one game. Now it's Paul Pogba. This is the thing. Paul Pogba's my man of the match, because players score a hat-trick a lot. I mean, especially for a midfielder to score a hat-trick. Congrats, Bruno. But getting 4 assists is a lot rarer than scoring a hat-trick. So for that reason, Paul Pogba is my man of the match. I think he was fantastic. He changed the game. I prefer Pogba in the middle, but he played on the left. And you know what? Fair fucking play, Paul Pogba. Fair play. I mean, he only got an 8.4 on sofa score and he got 4 assists. I'm going to read out Paul Pogba's game numbers for you guys. He had 4 assists, 76% pass accuracy. He made 5 key passes, by the way. He completed 5 out of 6 of his long balls. He only created 1 big chance, actually, to be fair to him. He won a majority of his aerial duels, made 2 fouls, but even defensively, he made a tackle, he made an interception. I mean, 4 assists, guys, 4 assists. Come on. I think for me, that's why Paul Pogba's man of the match. And look, if Paul Pogba looked happy when he played, I'm not going to say about Paul Pogba, he looked really, really happy when he played. And I'm just thinking, if we can get this Pogba week in, week out, if this is the Pogba we get this season, he's more likely to sign that contract and stay. And if this is the Paul Pogba we get this season, and this is the Bruno Fernandes we get this season, and Ollie rotates and doesn't run them to the ground, this is boom. And I have to tell you one thing. Before Alex Ferguson came in, before Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, Man United had not scored 5 goals in the game since Sir Alex Ferguson. We scored 5 goals versus Leeds. We also scored 5 goals versus Cardiff, which is Ollie's actual first ever game, of Bournemouth, Leeds again, and Southampton. And Leipzig if you count that. But this is the first game since Sir Alex Ferguson that we scored 5 goals, and it was first game of the season. It was Leeds. It was 1-0. I thought it was going to go down the drain, and we absolutely battered them. So that's all I can say. What a good start, mate. It was a good start. It was a good start. Fred, man of the match because he scored. I mean, 4 goals in the second half. Second half, United had it. And when Sancho come in earlier, we can't see him attack that much. Yeah, but to be fair, look, we dropped off when the subs were made, but I just think that was more. We're 4-1 up, 5-1 up, sorry. Pogba and Bruno on fire today. They absolutely were. And hope Pogba could keep this performance up for longer. Me too. A second thing we'll have from the game, and then we will do player ratings and I will adjust the live chat. But Bruno on fire, he is refreshed. Now, Bruno got a lot of slate towards the end of last season. Bruno got a lot of attack. A lot of people saying, Fernandes, he's shit, he's washed. People will be like, Grealish is clear of Bruno. I'm like, they don't even play the same position. And you're telling me Grealish is clear of Bruno just because Grealish had a better last few games of the season. I'm sorry. No. Bruno is world class. He's the most disrespected player in football because he has a couple bad games at Euros. Everyone bounces on it. Bruno did more at the Euros than Bernardo Silva, but it doesn't fit the narrative, so they won't talk about that. Bruno did more at the Euros than Jota. It doesn't fit the narrative because it's not talked about. Bruno got robbed about 2 assists and a goal at the Euros, but it doesn't fit the narrative, so they won't talk about it. They'll just say Bruno shit the Euros. Bruno's watched. Bruno was running to the ground. Bruno was fucking tired, guys, and he's come out and he's scored a hat trick. And he's not just scored a hat trick. He scored a hat trick with no penalties involved. So Mr. Penman didn't even get a penalty today. I mean, this guy was insane. Bruno completed 28 passes, and 21 successful passes out of 28 passes, sorry. He made 10 final third passes, so every other one of his passes was a final third pass. He was playing really hard. He was almost playing like a second striker. He made 5 passes into the box with 4 shots. 3 of the 4 shots were on target. He created 3 chances. Even though he didn't get an assist today, he actually created only 2 less chances than Paul Pogba, and he got 3 goals. And that is Bruno Fernandes for you. That is Bruno Fernandes for you. He was absolutely fire today. The third thing we learned from the game is Mason Greenwood is our star boy. Mason Greenwood is the star boy. He looked really, really good in the first half. He was kind of my first half man of the match, and I think he really deserved that goal in the second half. And you have to say the ball from Pogba for that goal was fantastic, but the way Mason Greenwood took that was a good goal for Mason Greenwood. He ran and he finished it like goal. Like, that was a very, very good goal for Mason Greenwood as well. I think he deserved that goal. He almost set up Pogba. He almost got an assist for a Pogba goal if Pogba had scored that chance. But Mason Greenwood was absolutely phenomenal today. I think those are the 3 players I have to give so much credit to. And look, Mason Greenwood, 88% pass accuracy. He attempted 9 take-ons. He completed 5 take-ons. His dribbling was insane. He was completing dribbles. He won possession 5 times. He made 5 ball recoveries. He won a lot of the ball. He did a good job defensively. He had the 3 shots with the 2 on target, the 2 touches in the box. He created 1 big chance where he should have probably got an assist to Pogba, put that away, and he scored a goal as well. And that is Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood was absolutely fantastic today. George Kessler said Greenwood to stay in the middle of the season. Greenwood looked fantastic in the middle, actually. I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on Greenwood in the middle. Let me know in the live chat. Because I think this is a concern coming into the season. Is Greenwood ready to play in the middle? I think that's the concern coming into the season. Is Greenwood ready to play in the middle? And today he looked really ready. Like, Leeds are a good side. Leeds are very, very strong defensively in a weird way in terms of the way they manage. Believe it or not, they didn't look at today. And Greenwood didn't struggle. Greenwood didn't look out of place at all playing striker, He did switch to the right wing a little bit, but Greenwood looked confident, cool, calm, collected as a striker. I think with Bruno just behind him, he looks brilliant. Like, Greenwood was phenomenal. I mean, Greenwood looked sharp. Greenwood looked great. Greenwood was phenomenal. What can I say? Elan says, what a season opener. I can't wait for the starting line. That includes Varane and Sancho. No, exactly. Imagine Sancho in for Dan James and Varane in for Lindelof on top of that. And hopefully a bit more Donny and a bit less Fred as well. But we will talk about that in a later point. And Robert says, Alice, I will say sit down all the clown haters on Bruno saying he only scores penalties. Those Bruno haters, they won't be on social media today. Them Bruno haters, they will not be on social media today. And you know what? I love it. Well, Beast, come on. You're like the most deluded Arsenal fan on Twitter. Where is your tweet? Let me see if he's tweeted. You know the deluded Arsenal fan, well, Beast. Let's see what Arsenal's finest has said about Bruno Fernandes. Let's see if he's even tweeted. I bet he's not even tweeted. He's moaning about Arsenal. You know what? I was gonna banter Arsenal, and I was like, I won't banter Arsenal too much in case we lose, but guys, banter Arsenal. Guys, by the way, please hit that like button, subscribe down below if you're new. I'm live tomorrow for a transfer news update. So if you are new to the channel, do subscribe down below, hit that like button and all of this stuff. But Dan James wasn't great today. We are going to do player ratings as well, by the way. And majority of Greenwood's goals come from the left in the pass. He does well cutting in. He does. And where are you, Bruno haters? And please note about the match, our short-range passing was much faster and moved the ball forward more often. Exactly. Especially in the second half. I thought the first half, the tempo was a bit slow, but with a better team. But in the second half, we moved the ball about a lot quicker. The passing was done a lot quicker. The tempo was picked up a lot quicker. We massively improved in the second half. I do agree with that as well. And I think it was because we're moving the ball quicker, we're moving the ball faster, we're moving the ball forward. Yeah, 100% agree with that. The fourth thing we learned from the game, and this is my only criticism, and I think subs could have been made earlier. I think when you're 4-1 up, and it's not like a tactical sub, but when you're 4-1 up, I would be thinking about, okay, let's rest Bruno, let's rest Pogba, and let's take someone like week off like Dan James and think about the next game. For me personally, I would have been getting Bruno off for Donny. I know it's not a like-for-like replacement. I would have been getting Dan James off earlier for Sancho, and I would have been getting Martial on probably for Paul Pogba. And I think Ollie got his substitutions right. I think Ollie did get it right today, but I think he could have made his substitutions a little bit earlier considering the lead. I think it took a while for Jadon Sancho to come on, and when Jadon Sancho come on, like the game kind of just wasn't going at the rate it was going earlier. So I think that would be my only criticism of Ollie and Solskjaer in terms of the game. And then my fifth and final point is Ollie got it right. Second half FC is back because we were absolutely brilliant in the second half. We were the Man United. We were second half Man United. We were absolutely fantastic in the second half. As commented earlier, we really upped the tempo in the passing. We upped the play. You know, when Alien scored in that 48th minute, it took us 4 minutes to equalise. 48th minute he scores, 4 minutes to equalise, and then 2 minutes later, Bruno kills it off for 3-1. When Bruno kills it off for 3-1, I'm like, game, set, match. Bruno with a hat-trick to make it 4-1, and then Pogba assisting to Fred, 5-1, 68th minute. And we killed it off. 5 goals. We killed it off at that point and all of that. The dynamic duo, Pogba and Bruno, are dismantled. Pogba and Bruno absolutely dismantled Leeds. They just made Leeds look like a mug. Comment your man of the match down below because I feel like it's a situation where can you even choose? Like, I'm sorry, can you even choose between these two? Like, can you? Because I can't. I can't choose. Like, I can't choose who's my man of the match, but I feel like I have to go with Paul Pogba. George Kester says, interesting comment made that we score 5 without Sancho, Martial, Cavani, Rashford on the field as well. And do you know why we scored 5? Because of the way we played. We upped the tempo, we moved the ball back quickly, and we passed forward. And for me, that is why we scored 5 goals. It's all about the passing. It's about passing forward, upping the tempo, moving the ball forward quickly. And Paul Van der Beek, he should have been given a chance at least some game time. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. We're going to get into the player ratings, guys, but everyone that's watching that hasn't hit that like button, smash that like button. So when I get into the player ratings, we're going to be hitting that like button. We're on 37 likes currently on this video, guys. Can everybody give it a like? Make sure we get more likes on this video. It will be much appreciated because I'm going to get right into my player ratings, by the way. So let me know your player ratings down below, by the way, guys. I'll put them in the chat. But we've got to start off with the first player on the player ratings list, which is David De Gea. Everybody let me know in the live chat, what would you give David De Gea out of 10? I'm going to give him a 6. He didn't keep a clean sheet, but he made some decent saves. He wasn't awful. He wasn't good. He had all the saves he'd made you'd expect him to make. You could pop him at 7. I'm going to give David De Gea a 6. Again, Wan-Bissaka, thought he was solid. I think because we won 5-1, I'm going to actually give him a 7. I think I'll give Wan-Bissaka a 7. I thought he was solid. Defensively, did his job. I thought he was one of the better players in the first half and got forward well. So I'm going to give Wan-Bissaka a 7. Let me know what you'll be giving Wan-Bissaka down below. And Victor Lindelof, for me, again, you got to give him a 7. I thought Victor Lindelof was solid. I actually think Victor Lindelof did look a little bit better than Maguire, which is a bit of an unpopular opinion, but I thought Victor Lindelof looked absolutely solid. Elan says, perfect game for Varane to be introduced to the crowd as well. He must have been so hyped to get into the team. Exactly. A very, very good comment there. Now, talking about player ratings for Harry Maguire, what we giving Harry Maguire, I think a solid 7 as well. And Luke Shaw, again, I think a solid 7. I thought Luke Shaw was excellent in the first half, but he looked a little bit rash in the second half. Scott McTominay, I'm giving him a 7 as well. I thought he got forward really well. I think he did a good job. Fred, I would have given a 6, but because Fred scored a goal, again, you'd probably have to pop Fred up to a 7 because he scored that goal if we're being all serious, aren't we? So I'll probably give Fred a 7 as well. And Bruno Fernandes, I'd probably give Bruno Fernandes a 10. Can you not give... I feel like you have to give Bruno a 10. He was that good. He was that good. Like Bruno, for me, 10 out of 10. If you score a hat-trick, it's a 10 out of 10 performance. For me, Bruno was that good. So, yeah, I think 10 out of 10 for Bruno Fernandes. What would you give Bruno? You have to give Bruno a 10. Talking to Dan James, guys, what would you give Dan James out of 10? Let me know in the live chat. Because, to be fair, Dan James, I wasn't at it. He wasn't at the level that the other players playing were at. Because, like, I like Dan James, but, like, no offense to the guy, but he just doesn't have that player intelligence. Like, whether you like Dan James or not, he doesn't have that player intelligence that a lot of other players have. And it frustrated me because he would put a cross in and I'm like, you're not going to look in the box before you cross. You know, like little things like that. I'm just like, could you at least look at the box before you cross? Do you know what I mean? And I like Dan James, but his decision making, there was a couple of times in my head, but I was just like, you know what, square it. Like Bruno's on the edge of the box, Greenwood's on the edge of the box. There's a couple of times in my head where I really was like, square this and all of that. But Yeah, it was a situation where I think Dan James was probably the most disappointed player on the pitch for me. And I think it was a situation where I would have liked to see the likes of someone else come on. I think I would have liked to see someone else come on. I would have liked to see Sancho come on a lot earlier. So for that reason, I would probably give Dan James a 5 out of 10. We won the game, so I'm not going to go any lower than 5. Paul Pogba, guys, what are you giving Paul Pogba out of 10? Let me know in the live chat, because for me, Paul Pogba is a solid 10 out of 10. I mean, how can you not give Paul Pogba a 10 out of 10? And I'm giving him a star for my man of the match, because you know what? Paul Pogba is my man of the match. Robert said United after today's performance should not fear ones this season as long as the tempo of the game is dictated by Man United, not the opposition. Then United will be attacking these players, can't hurt anymore. James, 5 for effort. You know what, Flying Dutchman, you're right with that. And Alice, did you enjoy the game? Oh, I massively enjoyed the game. It was a fantastic game. I really, really did enjoy the game. And Robert says Bruno 10, Pogba 10. You have to give Bruno and Pogba 10. If I gave Bruno a 10, you've got to give Pogba a 10. And I am giving Paul Pogba my man of the match. I'm going to give Mason Greenwood a 9 out of 10. It might be a little bit generous because he did fade off a little bit in the second half, but I thought Mason Greenwood was fantastic. But Matic came on and did his job, and I'll give him a solid 6 out of 10. Sancho, I'll give a 10 out of 10 just for the bants because it's his debut, but he's a solid 6 out of 10. And Martial, again, is a solid 6 out of 10. I thought Martial took some good touches. I thought Martial looked good as well. And I think you've got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer an 8 out of 10. I think you've got to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer an 8 out of 10. Most people will probably give Bruno man of the match, but I'm just giving it to Paul Pogba because I think 4 assists is such a rare and such an amazing thing that for me, like, Paul Pogba is my man of the match. They were absolutely fantastic. Get any questions for me down below in the live chat. Any questions or comments that you want to be read out on, and what's your thoughts on the game, pop them in the live chat. Pop your thoughts in the live chat. But interesting comment made that we scored 5 without Sancho, Martial, Cavani and Rashford on the field as well. You know, Amad wasn't featured, Sancho wasn't featured. We had Dan James, Greenwood and Pogba as a front three, and we scored that many goals. Imagine Rashford coming in, imagine Sancho coming in, imagine Cavani coming in. And imagine if we played that type of football week in, week out, because the football we played in the second half was fast attacking football. Football on the front foot, good, fast attacking football was what we played in the second half. And if we can play that week in, week out in the Premier League, we can do something, because we were a lot better in the second half, because in the second half we were exploiting those spaces with Leeds. We obviously went level when they scored. We looked to attack. And we just passed the ball quickly, we moved the ball quickly, move and run. Everyone was fresh, and I think Bruno was so much better because he was refreshed. Everyone was fresh, and I was worried about players like Fred and McTominay, who I think were at fault for the alien goal in terms of their positioning. I didn't think Fred and McTominay as a pairing looked good, but I did think McTominay had a good game. But you just have to give it to them. You just have to give it to them, whether or not. I mean, Van der Beek, I feel like my criticism would be of Ollie that I would have liked to see Van der Beek come on and get some minutes. You know, it would have been nice to just see what Van der Beek can do and get Van der Beek involved in the game for sure. Sam Barr says you can't give a 4 asset player not a solid 10. Yeah, literally 4 assist player, you can't not give him a 10. Like that's only happens very, very rarely. Hat tricks are more common in Premier League history than getting 4 assists. Pogba 9 because he missed the chance and didn't chat back for their goal. I don't even think you blame Pogba for the goal because he's the left winger. I'd be blaming Fred, the left centre mid, personally for me. And what's the new rule that affects penalties? I think they're just not going to give as many soft penalties this year in the Premier League, which is good because that's what we want to see, because they gave away a lot of soft pens in the Premier League last season, by the way. Guys, please keep hitting that like button. Keep smashing that like button, by the way. And do subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. Hit that like button, by the way, guys. We are 47 likes away from 100 likes, so everybody keeps hitting that like button. We've got 50 people watching. We need 47 likes for 100 likes. Keep smashing that like button, because you know what, we won against Leeds and we won 4-1 against Leeds, and I don't know how you could not hit this like button. I'm sorry, I don't know how. Like, you can't complain about this game. Sancho debut. Paul Pogba gets 4 assists. Bruno gets 3 goals, and the Bruno haters got shut down. The Bruno haters got shut down, as Skepta would say. And Mason Greenwood's a star boy. Mason Greenwood is a talent for the future. Mason Greenwood, I've said this. When Mason Greenwood was poor at the start of last season, people were writing him off, and I said, do not write off Mason Greenwood. I think he'll be better than Rashford. I think he'll be better than Saka. I'm confident he's better than Saka now, and I think he'll definitely be better than Phil Foden. I think Mason Greenwood is the most exciting young talent in the Premier League. And you know what, Chelsea fans have nothing to do with the Saka, Rashford, Sancho debate. And a lot of Chelsea fans are going, that Greenwood is special, because there's something special about Mason Greenwood, and we love to see it. Whether you like Greenwood or not, and I don't know why you dislike Greenwood unless you're like a Saka fanboy and you want to keep saying that Saka's better. Mason Greenwood is gonna be a top player because he looked like a top striker. He didn't have loads and loads of service in the first half, but his movement was great. His dribbling was great. The confidence he had. I think that pre-season, that not going on the Euros, did Mason Greenwood a lot of good because I'm sorry, for a guy that's 19 years old to score a goal like that, to make a run like that, to take on defenders like that, Dan James would not have scored that. I wouldn't put my money on Rashford scoring that either. He would probably cut in and take too many touches. Mason Greenwood, as soon as Mason Greenwood got that shot off, I'm like, bosh, that's going in the back of the net. Because that's what Mason Greenwood does. As soon as he got that shot off, I was like, bosh, it's going back in the back. Ollie Cower to use Van der Beek says numero uno. I do wish Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would use Donny Van der Beek more. I think looking at what Donny and Matic did in pre-season, yes, we won the game. Yes, we won the game 5-1. But definitely if you look at pre-season, you do think, what have Donny and Matic got to do to start? McTominay and Fred got no pre-season. Donny and Matic got pre-season and look really good in pre-season, but they don't start. There's always that question behind it. But I hope Donny van der Beek's involved in the next game. I think Southampton's again that would really suit Donny van der Beek. I'm pretty sure he played against Southampton before in the Premier League and he really, really suited the game. I think, you've got to rotate Ollie. What did Pep do? Rotate. What did Pep do last season? He won a Premier League and he rotated. So for me, it's really, really important that maybe we rotate and all of that. And yeah, definitely. I would like to see Donny van der Beek involved in the next game. If he didn't get any minutes, I would like to see him start versus Southampton because I think, you're going to play the pivot versus Leeds because that beat Leeds 6-2 because it's the counter-attack that plays into the space that Leeds leaving behind. But I think if you play Southampton, they're going to be a little bit deeper. They've lost some of their main players. I don't think Southampton are as strong. They're a team we've already beat 9-0 a year ago and we're playing just a weak team as that. I would look at Matic and Donny for the Southampton game. That finish from Greenwood, that finish from Mason Greenwood was unbelievable. Guys, hit that like button if Mason Greenwood is a star boy. Hit that like button if you love Mason Greenwood. If that finish was brilliant, hit that like button. Because for me, that from Mason Greenwood was just fucking fantastic. Greenwood's finish was absolutely world class. I 100% agree on you there. Like Greenwood's just got world class ability, world class finishing. I would show you the goal on my screen if I could, but I just get in trouble. It's just copyright. Go on Twitter and look at the Greenwood goal. This team is screaming for a holding mid, says Barney. And you know what, Barney? I 100% agree with you. We are screaming for a holding midfielder. It's a frustrating situation because I do think the weakness, even though McTominay had a really, really good game and Fred scored a goal, I do think the weakness was McTominay and Fred in terms of the midfield. I do think we're losing the midfield. Especially at the start of the game, I just felt like we were losing the midfield. I felt that we could do a little bit better. I thought that McTominay looked good, but I did think that we looked weak in the midfield. So, yeah, I 100% agree with that, by the way. I do think that weakness is probably the holding midfield situation. It's probably the McFred situation. I think we really need to address it. Guys, we're on 61 likes. Let's go for 100 likes. We're 31 likes away from 100 likes. So keeping that like button. Van der Beek will play 4-3-3, Pogba on the left with Rash missing. Yes, definitely. You could see a 4. Our next game versus Southampton, you know what we could easily see? We could see Sancho on the right, Greenwood up top, Pogba on the left, Matic, Donny and Bruno as a midfield three. And I'd really like to see that. If we're talking about Southampton game, yes, McFred did well today, but I think they suited the game. I'd like to see Pogba left. Even though I prefer Pogba in the central, just because I want to see Donny in the central. I'd like to see Pogba left, Greenwood up top, Sancho on the right, then the midfield three of Donny, Bruno, and Matic, because Donny and Bruno have really, really good link-up play. Obviously, Pogba and Bruno just on it today, on it. So 100%, yeah. Pogba and Bruno chemistry is unreal. Carragher really said they can't play together. I mean, Carragher's looking like a fool. And I wonder if Van der Beek can play CDM. I think Van der Beek will be just as good and effective in the pivot as Fred and McTominay in defensive responsibility. I think Fred and McTominay going forward, they don't offer anywhere near as much as Donny. But I think defensively, Donny pretty much offers the same as Fred and McTominay, if you want my honest opinion. I don't think there's anything about Donny where I go, Fred, only Fred and McTominay can do this and Donny can't do it. Like, Donny's an unreal special player. Guys, keep it in that like button. We could have brought Carbon Phillips. We didn't need him today. And the road to Dead Tail says that kid who was holding the sign asking Bruno for his shirt. Hello. And Daniela Stewart says, great result for you guys and girls, but it's only the first game. There's 37 to go, plus all the cup games. A lot can happen. Don't count one's chicken too early. 100%. I'm not going to get carried away, and I'm not going to say Man United are going to win the league. Of course, I'm not going to say that because, I still think Manchester City will win the league. Yes, we had a great start to the season, but I put my money on Manchester City winning the league. But I think it's excited to get excited. I think it's good to get excited because we play really, really well. You know, you beat Leeds 5-1, opening game of the season, and when your Bruno Fernandes scores a hat-trick, when your Paul Pogba gets a quadruple assist, when your starboy scores, and your new signing Sancho makes his debut, you can't not be gassed. You can't not be like, wow, this is good. So I think you've got 100 million reasons to get excited about the game. Robert says Greenwood is a superstar. He knows how to finish anywhere inside the box. Greenwood is an absolute superstar, I agree. And this is going to be the part of history in the future. Hopefully, more games like this. I want to score 5 goals against Southampton. I want to score 5 goals against Wolves. I want to keep seeing these goals being scored. CDM is the solution. Hope the board realise that. We need a CDM. We know we need a CDM. I don't think Ollie and the coaches are idiots. I think Ollie and the coaches know we need a CDM. Because why don't Fred play together? Probably because we don't have an out-and-out CDM other than Matic. You know, we do need a CDM. And tomorrow's video, I'm going to be live tomorrow, guys. And I'm going to be talking about the latest on Camavinga, what Fabrizio Romano has mentioned about Camavinga. I will be talking on the latest of Ruben Neves to Manchester United. What's the situation with that? And I will also be talking about the latest of Sound against Manchester United and more news tomorrow in tomorrow's live stream. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, do subscribe down below because there's a transfer news update video tomorrow on the channel. Keep hitting that like button, keep subscribing, keep sharing the content, guys. Keep coming with it, by the way. Bruno x Pogba x Greenwood, perfect win, I agree. I want to see Pogba, Bruno, Donny together. I'd love to see Pogba, Bruno, Donny together. Maybe you can't play it as a midfield three because they're both quite attacking Pogba and Donny in terms of the minds. But even if you play Pogba on the left with Donny in the middle and Bruno in the CDM, I'd 100% like to see it. If it's Matic DM, if we sign a DM, if it's Camavinga DM, 100% I'd like to see it. James on the pitch, Donny on the bench, Pereira in the squad all remain a mystery to me. Exactly. Daniel James is awful. I know Donny van de Beek isn't a winger, and I know Daniel James has that pace to pick the pockets of Leeds if they left any space in behind. But I just go, you know what? I would generally start Donny van de Beek right wing over Daniel James because Donny van de Beek has that intelligence. Because all Dan James offers to me is pace, break, counter attack. I like Daniel James, but he's pace, break, counter attack. If you have Donny van de Beek on the pitch on the right hand side, he'd be linking up with Bruno, doing them short ones. He has that intelligent play. He wouldn't be rushing off a shot. He wouldn't be putting in a shit cross without looking up. Donny van de Beek would be like standing, watching, looking for people, passing to people. And yeah, I'd 100% have liked to see Donny van de Beek get a little bit more game time than the likes of Daniel James because Donny van de Beek for me is a much better player. This guy says great win today. Not blaming Ollie, but Van de Beek needs to go for his future. He's 5th choice in midfield, and I don't see him getting much more game time. Look, Van de Beek's bulked up. He's had a pre-season. He spent more time with Ollie. I think with Varane coming in, there will be less with Fred. I think Fred is Lindelof protection, so I'm not too concerned in that sense. But I do believe that Donny, if Donny doesn't get game time this season or he doesn't get game time by January, he needs a loan. He needs to be sold. Now, I really hope you give Donny the game time because I personally can sit here and believe that Donny is better than McTominay. Donny is better than Fred, and I'm just hoping Ollie believes that's the case as well. We have Champions League Varane. No way Fred is playing next season. Yeah, when Varane starts, I don't think we'll be seeing Fred play ahead of Varane and Maguire. Donny should play instead of Fred. I agree. I thought Fred was poor other than the goal today. And Pogba and Bruno creating magic for Manchester United. I hope we can convince Pogba to sign a new contract. He's got 4 assists, and that's good quality. We need more players like that. I agree, and I did say this. I think Pogba looks so happy when he is playing. And I think if Pogba continues to play like this for Manchester United and Manchester United continues to win, Pogba will sign a contract. I think the only way Pogba doesn't sign a contract is A, if he really wants to leave and his heart's set on leaving, but B, is if we're just not playing well. I think Pogba signing a contract depends on how he plays and how we're playing at the cup. Like if we go and win a Premier League, if we go and win a Champions League, then I'm confident that Paul Pogba will go and sign a contract at Manchester United for next year. I think Paul Pogba wants to win trophies and he wants to be playing the best football of his career. When Paul Pogba puts 10 out of 10s in for France week in, week out, and he only puts a 10 out of 10 in for Manchester United every now and then, Paul Pogba must be thinking, why can't I do this at Manchester United? Does this system not work for me? Are they not getting the best out of me? I think that's the situation with Paul Pogba, but I hope to see more performances like this from Paul Pogba. Pogba and Fernandes are a good duo. They are a great duo. I challenge you guys. Comment down below. Name a better duo. I dare you. I challenge you. Comment it. Because you know what? I cannot name a better duo right now. I cannot. Barney says, 1 City, 2 Chelsea, 3 Liverpool, 4 Man United. If we don't get a CDM this transfer window. Yeah, I somewhat agree with that. But I think with Liverpool, you just don't know because they haven't really invested in their squad the last couple of years. And you don't know how Konate will do. And you don't know how the injury will affect Van Dijk. I think we'll finish 3rd, to be fair. It'll be interesting to see how the game goes. Obviously, Chelsea are playing Crystal Palace. There's a couple of 3 o'clock kickoffs coming on and all of that. So it'll be interesting to see how the 3 o'clock kickoffs go as well. Guys, we're 20 likes away from 100 likes. 20 likes away from 100 likes. So if you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Any questions to me in chat and all of that. I can comment a better duo than KDB and Foden. Bruno and Pogba are better than KDB and Foden. Now, KDB is better than Bruno, but Pogba is better than Foden. And I think Bruno and Pogba are a better duo than KDB and Foden. Even Scholes said Fred was good. Fred was good today in the end. De Bruyne and Fernandinho, yeah, I guess. I was just thinking right now, like in terms of goals, assists, the flair, you know, and around a CDM and Sancho starting, then we really are going to see something. I agree. I can't wait to see Maguire or McGran, whatever we're going to call them. Lackluster Sancho. Sancho didn't get much time on the ball, much opportunity on the ball, but I'm sure we're going to see the best out of Jadon Sancho soon. And somebody has to disagree with this nonsense vibe about Fred being bad in this game. I don't think Fred was brilliant. I thought he got better in the second. I think he scored, but I think if you took away the goal from Fred, I don't think he was that good. I think he was the weaker of him and McTominay. I think Fred was at fault for the alien goal. We won the game 5-1, so I'm not going to say anyone is bad, of course. Only 23 likes needed for 100 likes, guys, so keep slapping that like button. And I think the manager puts Paul Pogba as a winger because he doesn't trust Pogba defensively, possibly, but wingers do have defensive duties, just not as much as midfielders. And now imagine this team with Sancho starting from Cavani and a world-class senior. Exactly, this team would be absolutely insane. And add Varane, a CDM, and Sancho starting, and we're going to really see something. Yeah, we're going to see something lovely. And do you play football? I do play football. And Pogba's only issue is his inconsistency. I think Pogba is inconsistent. He needs to work on that. And when will we see Cavani? We'll probably see Cavani in about 2 weeks' time. I think he's going to miss the next 2 games. But he could be back for the Wolves game. He might be back for the Wolves game, to be fair. I think if I play it on here with Cavani, because he's just come back from his holiday. So he's only just got back to training at Manchester United. Like, he's only just training. And all that, so you do have to play it with play it by ear with Cavani. Any questions for me? Pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and read and reply to as many questions as possible. Robert says, Alice, overall the Man United team played very well today. It's great to watch, but United have to stop passing or playing out the back. This is where mistakes happen. Yeah, I agree with this. I think there's a couple of times where I watched Man United and we definitely were playing out from the back, and I was definitely a little bit concerned that we might lose possession, we might lose the ball, we didn't look as confident as we normally look and all that. So yeah, there was a part of me that was always a little bit concerned about the way we were playing and all of that. But I think we ended up playing well and having a good game. We need Ruben Neves with Tomine as DM. I don't know, I feel like we don't need McTominay as a DM, but I think Ruben Neves would be a significant improvement. And Fred is going to take it up a notch this season with his goals and assists. That would be absolutely mad, to be fair. I think when Fred scores against you, it's like a banter thing, but hopefully Fred could be the Gundogan. You know, when Gundogan had that breakout season, he just got them goals and assists. Starting Donny van der Beek, Sancho and Varane would have crushed Leeds 10-0. Yeah, to be fair, you might have. I think if Sancho had come on for Daniel James a lot earlier, I think, yeah, there would definitely could have been more games and goals. And Fred was invisible for most of the game. I don't think Fred had his best game. I thought Fred was one of the weaker players on the pitch. I think Daniel James was the weakest player on the pitch. I do generally think Fred was one of the weaker players on the pitch. Where do you think your team will finish this season? I think Man City will win. I think United will come third. Sixth thing we learned is I suck at FPL. I mean, I got Sancho. Sorry, I haven't got Sancho. I've got Greenwood and Fernandes in my FPL. So my FPL is doing good. If you're new, do subscribe to the channel, guys. Please do subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. We're on the road to 17,000 subscribers. We're on 16,154 subscribers. So please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. What team do you play for, Alice? I don't play for a team. I support Manchester United. What Fred plays versus Leeds to match the energy and press. They helped United win the ball back high the pitch. I do agree with that one, actually. I think McTominay made quite a few interceptions, actually. If I go to McTominay's game numbers, if I look at McTominay's stats, McTominay defensively made 3 clearances. He made 1 interception. He made 2 tackles. He was fouled once. He only lost possession 8 times. McTominay definitely had one of his better games for Manchester United. Absolutely, 100%. And again, Fred had quite a decent game, but I thought Fred was a little bit quiet. 1 clearance, he made 2 interceptions, to be fair. Lost possession 13 times. But yeah, they did do a little bit of a job. I do see your point there. And fans waited 1.5 years for Bruno's Old Trafford's performance, and he treats them with a hat-trick, 100%. Like, that's such a game. That's a game so worth going to. I don't care if you're a United fan or not. If you're a neutral fan going to that game, you can sit there and admit that was a game worth going to, because that was a game to watch on TV. And anyone that didn't watch it, I feel sorry for you. Sheffield says United's second goal was key. The timing and the manner, I agree. The second goal was absolutely key. Is Ahmad going on loan? I believe he is going to go on loan to FC Basel or Crystal Palace. Hopefully, it will be Crystal Palace, because I don't think there's really need for him to go to FC Basel or the Swiss League. I think he needs Premier League. I think he needs Premier League games. So I think he's too good for that league. I think Basel will be lucky to have him. I think he'd be one of their better players. So hopefully a loan to Crystal Palace would be nice. Where do you think your team is finishing the season? I've answered that one. And United, Just need to play consistently. We can go on a great winning streak, but ruin it with silly mistakes. And I 100% agree that I think it's all right now. A lot of it is about consistency for Manchester United. I think that's where we're at. It's just keeping that consistency. I 100% agree. I really hope Sancho doesn't become the next Werner, good in the Bundesliga, turns bad in the Premier League. We looked right on the ball today, looked exciting, but I don't think Werner was bad in the Premier League. I just don't think he lived up to maybe the expectation of him. Same with Havertz, but I still think that because they're young in their age, they have the potential to live up to the expectation of you. So I wouldn't be worried about that. Burnley currently 1-0 up versus Brighton and all of that. And can Neves play as a sole CDM? I mean, he can, but he's not like an out-and-out CDM. It's not like his strongest job. It's not like his strongest position. And do you think Greenwood has a good season? Then it will be last season for Martial. Possibly, especially if we've got our eye on Haaland as well. And does this guy says Rice or Calvin Phillips would be good at CDM? I would go for Rice, but I take both in the CDM. And does Man U have a choice? Does Man U have a chance this season if they keep up with this pace? Yeah, of course. If we can keep up with this pace, we can keep up the way we're playing, we definitely have a chance of winning stuff this season. This guy says De Gea was kind of poor. What was he poor? Like, he couldn't save the goal and he made all the other saves. Like, I don't think you can say De Gea was poor. Bruno. Hit that like button for Bruno Fernandes. Hit that like button for Paul Pogba, baby. Bruno. He's a Portuguese magnifico. Bruno. He's a Portuguese magnifico. Come on, guys, hit that like button for Bruno Fernandes. Slap it, hit it. I don't know what you want to do, but hit that like button for Bruno Fernandes because the guy was absolutely incredible today, wasn't he? Him and Paul Pogba were absolutely quality, absolutely class. So you got to hit that like button for those two. United will finish second. We'll finish second if City sign Kane. Well, City will 100% win the league if they don't sign Kane. And if City do sign Kane and they don't win the league, then if I'm a City fan, I'll be going Pep. Like, you've not won us the Champions League and you've not won the league and you've got Kane and Grealish on top of these two guys. I'll be like, what? Ahmad will get playing time at Palace as Ezzy's injured 5 to 6 months. That's a fat injury to Ezzy. When did Ezzy get injured? I didn't hear that Ezzy was injured because he's a really good youngster player. That's a really nasty injury for Eze. I think Ahmad should go to Crystal Palace because I think Crystal Palace will kind of like a young winger like that. They can fill in Ezzy's boots. And it would be good for United because he actually gets loaned in the Premier League. And we need a Premier League player. Ezzy's a 23-year-old that is injured. So, yeah, 100%. I would like to see Amad Diallo on loan at Crystal Palace. I will be doing a transfer news live stream show tomorrow, by the way, guys. So we will be talking about Amad Diallo on loan. Where would Diallo be going on loan? We will be talking about Lingard, Pereira being sold. What's the latest on that? We'll be talking about who's likely to be sold this transfer window. We'll be talking about who's likely to be brought. I will be giving you all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news on the channel. So do subscribe down below if you're not subscribed to the channel, because tomorrow night is the Camavinga latest, the Neves latest, what Fabrizio Romano said about the Manchester United midfield situation, and more. So hit that like button and do make sure you subscribe down below if you don't want to miss out on any of the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. Share this video and, of course, get any comments or questions for me down below in the live chat. Dwight B. Joseph says, with Varane in and Matic and Donny over McFred, I'd like to see Varane come in, Matic and Donny come in for McFred, and Daniel James come off for Jadon Sancho in our next Premier League game against Southampton. Now, let me know after watching this game, how would you line up versus Southampton, guys? Let me know in the live chat, how would you line up versus Southampton? If you haven't hit that like button, we're on the road to 150 likes, so smash that like button if you have not hit that like button, by the way. And Bob JR says, why are English players so expensive? For example, Grealish is worth 50 million. Since he's English, he costed 100 million. Yeah, I agree. English players are way overpriced. Thank you very much for the super chat. Would like to see more of Greeny as our number 9. I 100% agree, guys. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Greenwood as number 9 today? I thought he put in a really mature performance. He was really, really confident. The way he was dribbling at players, the confidence Greenwood had was absolutely outstanding. Greenwood is a star boy, and I've said this time and time again. A lot of people writ off Greenwood last season. Greenwood had a really hard start to the season last season because he went on international duty. He made a mistake, and it wasn't just his mistake. Phil Foden was the older, more mature one with a kid, with a girlfriend, possibly a wife. He made the same mistake, but Phil Foden was the media's angel, and Mason Greenwood was the media villain in the situation. And Mason Greenwood had a really, really hard start to the season. He wasn't good until maybe January time, where he started to move into the season. And he had a lot of people writing him off. A lot of people were writing off Mason Greenwood, saying, nah, this guy ain't good enough. This guy ain't good enough. Mason Greenwood, towards the end of last season, proved us wrong. He could have won Player of the Month for June or July. He got back in that England squad, and today he was fantastic. There's a lot of games where Greenwood might not score, he might not get an assist, but he'll be one of the better players on the pitch as well. Like, Bruno's the type of guy that can have a bad game and get a goal and an assist, and Mason Greenwood's the type of guy that can have a good game but not get a goal or assist. And I thought it was going to be one of those games for Mason Greenwood. So when he got his goal, I was just absolutely ecstatic, because the goal that Mason Greenwood scored was brilliant, but Mason Greenwood deserved that because he's a hard year, he's our star boy. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does at his age. He's really mature. Like, playing a striker position is a lot harder than playing a winger in football. Hence why a lot of players start on the wing and then move to the striker. But Mason Greenwood's making it his own. And Cavani, when you come back, be scared. Martial, you want that number 9 position, be scared. Over 104 likes, guys, so keep hitting that like button. Let's go for 150 likes. And do we need Haaland if Greenwood smashes it as a striker this season? It depends really on the Cavani. On the Cavani Martial situation, because I feel like if Cavani goes and we sell Martial, then we should go for Haaland, because yes, Greenwood and Haaland can both play in the middle, but Greenwood's back up to Haaland and Greenwood can also play on the right. So if you want my honest opinion, I think a lot of it just depends on the situation with someone like Martial. If Martial stays, if Martial goes, if you want my 100% honest opinion on that. But I would still go for Haaland. I think we're in a situation, as I said in my transfer videos, if Kane goes to City, Lukaku's gone to Chelsea, Messi's gone to PSG, Real Madrid are going to get Mbappe, Barcelona are financially in the mud, Bayern's in the same league, he wants a new league, Juventus, it's between Juventus, Liverpool and Man United for Erling Haaland. I think Man United have the most pull out of these three because he obviously wants to play in England because he was raised there. He's got a good link up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's got a good link up with Jadon Sancho. I think we're in a situation where if Kane goes to Man City, Man United are instantly favourites to sign Haaland, because I think Man City are favourites to sign Haaland, but if they sign Kane, they're not going to sign Haaland. So I think, you know, if you can get Haaland for 60 million, United wouldn't pass up on that next season, and it might be a situation where they'd sell Martial, they'd let Cavani go, and Greenwood could just cover on the right and cover as striker when needed, if you know what I mean. Because Greenwood, I think, is just as great on the right, but he'd put in a really mature performance. Official says, now imagine this team with Sancho starting, Cavani, Varane next to Maguire, who played well today with world-class CDM. I mean, imagine this team with a world-class CDM and Donny van de Beek in the midfield. You know, imagine this team, this team with not Fred did well, but imagine if it were Donny and Matic in the midfield. I think it would have been better than it was today. Like, that's what I think. And 4-3-3 left, Donny van de Beek and Bruno in the mid with Southampton. I'd like to see Donny van de Beek start, or at least get more than 5 minutes, get at least 20 minutes versus Southampton. I think that's what I'd really like to see. Tom Lane, Donny with Bruno in midfield next week. You know, Fred wasn't good today, and a part of me did want to see Donny van de Beek come on. And we know in pre-season that Donny van de Beek can do it at the pivot. We learned that in pre-season that Donny van de Beek can do it at the pivot. So, yes, I'd 100% love to see that. Any questions for me, pop them in the live chat. This person says, do we need Haaland if Greenwood smashes it as a striker this season? And I believe that we would need Haaland, just as I said, for backup. Greenwood can be better than Haaland. Who knows? I agree. You never know. I don't think he will be, but he can definitely reach that level. Greenwood good backup, but Cavani needs to start when he's ready. And please get a CDM. Imagine Pogba next to it, whoever it will be. I agree. Imagine a top CDM or either Pogba or Bruno next to it. That would be unstoppable for Manchester United. And Ethan Fury says, what a game. I enjoyed every minute of it. I enjoyed every minute of it too, Ethan. And this guy says 4-3-3, Shaw, Varane, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Fernandes, Camavinga, Donny van de Beek. I would love to see that. I guess you get Pogba on the left, Greenwood up top, and Sancho on the right. And yeah, it was an absolutely amazing game. You can't tell me that wasn't an amazing game. And hopefully Greenwood can learn some of Cavani's off-the-ball movement world class. I think one of the best things about signing Cavani is you can see the improvement of Greenwood under Cavani, maybe in his movement, in his composure. I mean, to finish that, that's not an easy shot to finish from Greenwood, and he just finished and he made it look easy, you know. I think players like Cavani and all of that definitely will improve Mason Greenwood. I think Zlatan, I know Rashford isn't the striker, but I think Zlatan was we saw as a mentor for Rashford, but I think Cavani is this Greenwood mentor for the next year. And I do think, yes, Greenwood scored 17 goals in this debut season, but I think that Greenwood in the last 6 months is the best Greenwood that we've seen ever. I think it's the best Greenwood we've seen ever, and I think a lot of this is to do with maybe Cavani and the way that Greenwood has matured. We are 25 likes away from 150 likes. Sorry, no. We're 35 likes away from 150 likes. So let's go for 150 likes by the end of the live stream. And does Pogba deserve 400 or 450k a week, which you demand on Sunday contract? Probably not, because no one else earns that much. I would say 400 max, not 450k. If he plays like this week in, week out, then yeah, okay, give him what he fucking wants. And what do you think about Sancho's performance? I mean, Sancho didn't get involved on the ball much. He didn't have much of the ball because the tempo slowed down when he came on. That's not Sancho's fault. that's a midfield fault. But I thought Sancho was very, very good. He looked confident on the ball. He made some good touches. Like the way Sancho passed and the way Sancho touched is just so different to Dan James, where you'd see Dan James just run in a straight line and take on that man, while Sancho does that 1-2 with players. And, you know, he's just got that something about him that a lot of players don't have. And I thought, you know, we didn't see much of Sancho, but he looked confident when he touched the ball. He looked good. He completed a few passes. So, yeah, I thought Sancho was decent today. You know, you know, we didn't see enough of him. Hopefully we see a lot more of him, but he definitely looked better than Dan James in his 20-minute cameo, which I don't think is hard. Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Johnny, Bruno, Sancho, Greenwood, Pogba. Boom, boom, wow. Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. Keep it in the likes, guys. Keep it in the likes. Let's go for 150 likes. We've got nearly 70 people watching. If you're watching this video and you have not hit that like button, smash it, hit it, bash it, bang it, hit that like button and all of that. Ethan says, I think Pogba will hopefully extend his contract because the way he played today, that's the Pogba we need. The way Pogba played today was the Pogba you need, and he was smiling and he was happy. And Paul Pogba wants to win trophies, and Paul Pogba wants to play like that week in, week out. And if Paul Pogba starts playing like that every week, he's going to stay at United. That's how I feel. I feel like we could convince him to stay at United if he actually starts to play like that week in, week out at Manchester United, because he just looked so happy. He just looked on fire. He just looked like he was thriving. So 100%, I agree with you there. And Rishab says, Ollie has balls. No one would have picked that team, but he thought it was right and went with it. I don't think you could say Ollie has balls for that team, because I think that's Ollie's safety team. I don't think you can say because Ollie picked that team that he has balls. I really don't think you can say that. That is Ollie's safety team. But I think Ollie, yeah, I did criticise that he played McTominay and Fred over Matic and Donny, and I still think we would have won a game similar like that with Matic and Donny. And, you know, fair play to Ollie. I personally wouldn't have played the likes of those players, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? We can't do anything about it. So, yeah, definitely. It's just one of them situations. But, yeah. I wouldn't say Ollie had balls. I think it was cowardly picking what I'm trying to say. I think it's cowardly picking McTominay and Fred and those safe players like Daniel James that you know we're going to run around a lot. But it worked out. It worked out. One pass by Sancho into space, almost creating an assist for Wan-Bissaka. Exactly. Like that's what Sancho has that Dan James doesn't, and that's why I was so desperate for Sancho to come on and ahead of Dan James. I was like, sitting there, I was like, I don't want Dan James on. I want Jadon Sancho on. Don't care about Dan James. I want Jadon Sancho. Like I'm just sitting there the whole time to get Jadon Sancho because Dan James would have done a pass like that. I'm not trying to criticize Dan James. I'm not trying to make this the Dan James criticism show, but Dan James wouldn't have done a pass like that. And you know who did a pass like that? Jadon Sancho. Guys, we're 30 likes away from 150 likes, so keep smashing that like button. Hopefully, I'm not too laggy on the live stream. My Wi-Fi is shocking, and I will apologise for that. But yeah, absolutely amazing. But yeah, when Varane came out, he just looked amazing. I mean, look, today was the day. Like the Man United, fair play. You got the mood right. You announced Varane today in front of a crowd of so many people. You set the mood. You set the mood. That's what you did, Manchester United. And then we score the goal, boosh. We concede, Leeds can pipe up for 2 minutes. Then we score another goal, bang, bang, bish, bash, bosh. I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? We score the second goal, boom. And then we went 3-1, 4-1 up. And to just think, Bruno gets a hat-trick, so the hate is just crying. Pogba just puts in a worldie, looks happy playing for Manchester United, playing the best football he's ever played, giving you hope that Paul Pogba is going to be the £83 million player that we think Paul Pogba is going to be. And your starboy Mason Greenwood scores on top of Sancho getting a debut and Varane being announced, and you're beating your rivals Leeds 5-1. You know, it can't really get much better, guys. It can't get that much better. By the way, everybody keep hitting that like button. Any questions for me, pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and read and respond to as many as possible. Someone says Sancho looked a little bit overweight. I didn't really notice that. I think he's just been bulking up. I don't think it's a weight gain. Sancho looked very confident with the ball. Yeah, he has that Amad Diallo thing. And I'm not trying to compare Sancho and Amad Diallo, but what I'm trying to say is, you know, like when Amad Diallo's on the ball, he has that confidence. He has that really cool, smooth, slick confidence. Yeah, Sancho has that confidence as well, and I like it. I like that confidence that they have. The smooth, slick, you know, I'm dribbling with the ball confidence. Sancho had it. Amad Diallo had it. I like confidence on the player. I think confidence is just what you want to see with a player. And yeah, I loved it. I think the way he moved the ball, you know, he went to take on players. He wasn't doing what a lot of players would do and just do that safe pass. Sancho was like, I want to take on players. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like Sancho was just more than ready to just go at it. And yeah, I really appreciate Sancho's confidence. I thought Sancho's confidence was brilliant, wasn't it? Please do hit that like button and of course subscribe down below to Alice Talks Football If you are new, by the way, guys, keeping that like button, keep subscribing. Let's go for 150 likes, guys. So slap that like button. Slap that like button now. Keep subscribing, keep sharing, because I'm going to wrap up this live stream in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to wrap up the live stream in the next 5 minutes because I don't want to be longer than an hour mark for a match review. So any questions in that you want to be read out, put them in. And if you just joined, I was talking about 5 things you learned from the game. I said Paul Pogba is world class. He proved it. 4 assists, my man of the match. Paul Pogba was brilliant. Bruno on fire. Now he's refreshed. Now Bruno's had that break. Now Bruno's refreshed. He's back at it. Bruno was poor towards the end of last season because he was overplayed. He's refreshed. He's back at it. The third thing, and I've spoke about this a lot, was Mason Greenwood by Starboy. The finish was outstanding from Mason Greenwood. The fourth thing is that the subs definitely could have been made earlier. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have made his subs earlier. I think when you're 4-1 up, you just think, Ole, it doesn't matter who you sub on. Just get your players off, rest them, rotate. And the fifth and final thing is Ole got it right, and second half FC is back, because in the second half we played well. But what did we do in the second half? We passed the ball quickly, we moved the ball quickly, tiki-taka passing, ping, pang, pong. We looked a lot better in the second half because of that. And Ethan Fury says, oh yeah, by the way, I saw this toxic Liverpool fan saying Varane will get embarrassed in the Premier League. There's so many toxic ones, so much hate and jealousy towards us. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is an overrated pen merchant. People are just salty. And this guy says, frankly, Daniel James is a left winger. He will be on his best as an inventive winger on the left. I think Daniel James would be better as a left winger because his crossing is it's not that his crossing is bad. It's just crossing to no one there. So 100%, I think Daniel James would 100% be better as a left winger. But everybody, I'm going to wrap up the live stream here. But if you do have any questions, do put them down below in the live chat. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I don't want to make my match reactions too long, but keeping that like button, keep subscribing. Let's go for 150 likes. I'm going to read out a couple more comments, so pop them in and all of that. So yeah, can't wait for Varane to come. I agree. But to sum up the match while I end this live stream, actually one more thing, guys, stay tuned. This is the FPL code. It's not too late to join. You might miss one game week, but that is the FPL code if you do want to join. That is the FPL code. So yeah, bada bing, bada boosh. Do what you want with that. But thank you everybody for tuning into today's live stream. Please make sure you hit that like button, and of course subscribe down below to our Talk Football if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. I'm live tomorrow night for the latest on Camavinga, the latest on what Fabrizio Romano's had to say regarding transfers. I'm live tomorrow night. I've got a lot to talk about in tomorrow night's live stream regarding transfers, who we're going to buy, who we're going to sell. I'm going to give you lots of updates. Amad Diallo on loan to Crystal Palace with Ezzy's injury. We'll be talking about a lot of that in tomorrow night's live stream, so make sure to subscribe for that. Was Bruno your captain in FPL? Bruno wasn't. I put Salah captain because they were playing Norwich. I'm a bit annoyed about that. And what position do I play? I'm a bit of a cam as well, but I can play a little bit of right back. So everybody, thank you for tuning in today's live stream. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please do